This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Tuesday to everyone tuning in to us right now. It is a bright, sunny Tuesday right here in the heart of Sharjah, and you're listening to Future Talk, the one and only place where we give you a quick roundup of everything that is happening in the tech world, in the UAE, and around the world.
Yes, indeed. It is a beautiful Tuesday afternoon right here in Sharjah. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking all about COVID in the UAE and how fake food shopping websites are on the rise. And police in the UAE have issued a warning because of that.
Yes, indeed. Ramadan is just around the corner, and we all know people love to start prepping in advance. The sambusas, getting all the food prepped just so that we are ready for this holy month. But coming up on the show, the last scary moment for the Hope probe is over. We are finally in the safe zone, and we're going to be telling you all about the UAE's Hope probe transitioning into its science orbit.
Yes, and if you've heard about Spike or Spot the dog from Boston Dynamics, well, ladies and gentlemen, Boston Dynamics has came out with a new robot called Stretch, which is a new warehouse worker robot. And this just goes to show how we are so accelerating when it does come to robots in the workplace and in our homes. So we're going to get into that today as well.
We're also going to be getting right into Apple launching potentially a new rugged watch for extreme sports. So anyone who is a big fan of extreme sports, now you will have a wearable that can suit that interest of yours.
Yes, and we're talking today also about a super app coming right from the UAE. It is an Emirati super app that does launch doorstep delivery of not even food, not products. We're talking about the COVID-19 vaccine.
What a great app to be talking about, especially now that the UAE has officially launched its very own made in the UAE COVID-19 vaccine. Lots and lots is in store on today's show, so make sure you keep Pulse 95 locked, and we'll be right back.
Best Omnia, you know back in the day in high school what they used to call me?
What did they call
They used to call me a dance monkey because I used to dance and it looked like I was a monkey.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I see.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about fake food shopping websites are on the rise, and police in the UAE have issued a warning. Now, authorities in the Northern Emirates of Sharjah and Ajman have intensified their cyber patrols in a bid to crack down on fake food and shopping websites that do steal cash from victim bank accounts. Now, police officials have said that they have received several complaints about such illegal activities.
Yes, indeed. Now, we do know that Ramadan is just around the corner. And with Ramadan approaching us, a lot of people love to start prepping their kitchens, whether that meant buying stockpiles or at least more stock of things that they know they'll be using more often, whether that was rice, pasta, I don't know, pomegranate molas. All I can think of is fattoush right now.
Yeah, you're hungry, Omnia.
Yeah, I'm hungry. So people start, getting things so that they never run out of them. And with that comes finding good deals with food, which can definitely be a little bit fishy when it comes to online shopping. This is exactly why police officials have actually already received several complaints about certain websites basically lying to users. They would go ahead and place an order, and that order would either be breached, as in more money would be deducted out of their credit cards than they think, or fraudsters would use fake websites with the names of well-known restaurants and shopping centers in Sharjah and Ajman to basically lure customers to go ahead and pay their cash so that they can get, let's say, free coupons at this specific restaurant.
Yes, now an official statement from someone from Ajman police did say that authorities have intensified their awareness campaign and have also warned the public to exercise caution when dealing with online websites. Now, the public has been urged to make a phone call to order food or any other items and pay in cash at the time of the delivery. Furthermore, authorities have issued electronic warnings regarding these fake websites that do misuse the names of popular restaurants and shopping outlets. Now, when I do my online shopping when it comes to groceries or ordering food, I only use trusted sources. I only use, for example, Talabat, Zomato, Deliveroo, these type of outlets that are well known and are trusted and have a customer support. So if you want to order food online, do it, but use the correct outlets when ordering food online so you don't get scammed and money is not deducted from your bank account more than is asked.
Exactly. And even though an offer might just be so good and too good to just let go of, sometimes, exactly, it's too good to be true at the same time. And you're better off not getting the best deal out there, but at the same time making sure that your credit card information is not being breached.
Yes.
And with the well-known websites, there's, as you've mentioned, Hani, chat support. And there is consequences for any fraud that would happen, for any errors that would take place. It doesn't mean that using these apps is error-free. You and I and a lot of people would know that these apps do make mistakes sometimes, whether it was with your order or even delivering or deducting the right amount from your credit card. But these mistakes are always being corrected. Now, the police in Sharjah and Ajman have actually found that these illegal activities have gone up exponentially during the COVID-19 pandemic. And a lot of people have been confined indoors, just ordering food to their house, and whether it was from supermarkets or even well-known restaurants. So the best part about it is to make sure that you're being as cautious as you can when placing any kind of orders, that you can make sure that you're not being duped for the wrong offer.
Yes, now fraudulent websites are always on the rise. There's always people trying to phish others, especially when it does come to using your bank information or using your credit card. Always remember, if it is authorized, if it is authentic, if it is secure, the website should come on the left-hand corner that this website is secured. But ladies and gentlemen, we've seen this actually happen to a number of websites. For example, I read about a different website the other day, actually yesterday I read about this, that there's a website, if you type in anything, for example, let's say dumb computer, there's going to come out a search that says dumb computer being sold for $700 and it was $1,000 before. And they'll give you as if it's an offer type of thing.
Okay.
You see? So a lot of websites are like that, and a lot of people want to get good deals. So they'll use these type of things. So, I mean, everyone wants to be a smart shopper and use good deals, but shopping smart doesn't mean being a victim of fraud.
Exactly. And right here in the heart of Sharjah, we're lucky that Sharjah Co-op does have multiple ways for you to go ahead and order your groceries to your home. It's very easy, very seamless, and they also have great offers. So with Ramadan approaching, there are different ways to be able to get the right deal, but at the same time, not risk your privacy. Coming up on the show, we still have lots in store for all of you. We're going to be talking about our beloved UAE Hope Probe and how it successfully got over the last scary moment that it will be facing in its journey on the Red Planet.
Yes, and Omnia, we do know that the Hope Probe is our one love.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
One love is all we need, ladies and gentlemen. That is the song One Love by Blue. And you know what is our one love right here in the UAE and with Future Talk? It is the UAE's Hope Probe, and how we're going to be talking about how it actually had its last scary moment, and the transition to the science orbit has been going as planned. Now, the UAE's Hope Probe has commenced transition from its capture orbit to its science one, with the successful completion of a 510-second burn of its thrusters.
Yes, indeed. And it did require a minor course correction, but the spacecraft is now in its final orbit of Mars and ready for its 2-year science data gathering phase, which is the main goal of this mission. Now, the Hope Probe will start its science phase on the 14th of April, so one day after Ramadan begins, actually. And with the calibration of the instruments, we are all hoping that the Hope Probe will be able to accomplish all the different scientific goals that the team behind it have aimed for it to do. Now, we do know that the name of the Hope Probe actually signifies and signals it brings a lot of hope or amal to the Arab world as a whole, but the main aim behind it is to basically build the first complete picture of Mars's atmospheric dynamics. So to find out what is the sand on Mars composed of, how is the air on Mars, basically in comparison to how it's like on Earth, but also why did Mars change over time? Because we do know that Mars is actually the closest planet to what our Mother Earth was like or is like right here. Now, the main aim behind the transition to science maneuver is very important because it was actually the last truly scary moment of this mission. There was a very big risk of losing the spacecraft during this last burn of the mission. But now that it's already been done, they're confident that the Hope probe will not need a further large correction maneuver over time.
Yes, indeed. Now, just what we were talking about the last scheduled big burn for the spacecraft's journey was launched on July 20th of 2020. Now, the science phase will commence on April 14th with a number of collaboration and test runs that do aim to establish a sound baseline for the accurate and efficient management of the measurements. Now, it's a lot of big words, I know that, but we'll kind of explain it like you're 5 years old, just for you to know how it is. I like to use this terminology a lot, explain like I'm 5, because sometimes with a lot of big terminology that I don't understand, I'll just tell someone, explain like I'm 5 years old, right? It makes it a lot simpler and easier. So we're just looking at how the Hope probe is calibrating and making the movements correctly for it to easily go into that science orbit where we will learn a lot about Mars, but at the same time, learning a lot about Mother Earth.
Yes, indeed. And all this information will actually be available for anyone to access free of charge. And we are hoping that it will be made available globally in October of this year.
Yes, now the data will be processing, formatting, and sharing with the world's science and academic communities openly through their website. Just like Omnia said, it will be free of charge. Anyone can access it, even you, the listener, right now can access it when it is available. Let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215, do a select or on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Boston Dynamics and how they have something new, or shall I say, a new dynamic. Keep Pulse95 locked because we're going to be right back.
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
I know everyone who tunes into Future Talk knows Hani and I, but I don't think a lot of you know that we have a lot of friends.
A lot.
A lot. And those friends are not necessarily human because they are, I wanted to say smarter than us human beings, but let's say they're faster.
Faster.
And more flexible than human beings are. We're talking about robots. And Boston Dynamics have officially hired a brand new robot, apart from Spot the dog. And this robot is capable of doing the one job that every warehouse worker hates, which is moving boxes.
Yes, I mean, we do know that humans get tired, unfortunately.
Yes.
And we get bored, and we make error, and we make mistakes. So
we break our back.
And we break our backs. But Boston Dynamics have introduced Stretch, who is a new warehouse worker robot. Now, U.S. robotics company Boston Dynamics has unveiled a new robot called Stretch, which is designed to perform one very specific warehouse job: moving boxes. Now, Stretch is the first robot for one task that the company has built, which has been built because there has been a lot of requests received from companies around the world. Now, Boston Dynamics has become, let's say, the pioneer of these type of robots that help humans and are used in the companies and workforces and their number one, or let's say their flagship robot is Spike. Is it called Spot or Spike?
Spot the dog, I think.
Spot the dog, which was a robotic dog that looked crazy.
Yes, and he was actually capable of doing different tasks all at the same time. But Stretch the robot is doing the one job that is basically the most physically difficult and unpleasant out there when it comes to working in a warehouse, which is unloading the truck. This requires carrying lots of boxes. Those boxes can be very heavy, and over time, human warehouse workers actually, they lose some of their physical strength. They start suffering from different discs in their back, or bad discs
in their back.
Yeah, discs in their back because of the heavy load that they're carrying on a day-to-day basis. So Stretch has a small mobile base that allows it to move around tight spaces in the warehouse without having to reconfigure them for automation. They're also equipped with an arm and a smart gripper that has advanced sensors and computer vision cameras that can actually identify and handle a large variety of boxed and shrink-wrapped cases.
Yes, now Hyundai Motor Group has recently agreed to buy a controlling stake in Boston Dynamics from SoftBank Group in a deal that does value the robot maker at $1.1 billion. So obviously Boston Dynamics are doing everything right, but
yes,
this is where the debate comes into play. Now, we do know that there's a number one fear among humans, among people who do repetitive jobs, among people who work in warehouses. Will robots take our jobs? Now, in this type of scenario, yes, but we have been assured time and time again, and we've had a lot of people on the show, experts on the show, who talk about this. There will be a time where robots will take our previous job, but we'll be given a new job. There will be training courses on how to maintain and use maintenance on these robots. So we see robots they are deleting all the repetitive work for us and giving us work that is, number one, more flexible for us, and number two, easier on our physical well-being.
I agree with you, especially because, back in the day when factories didn't exist, or let's say machines at factories didn't exist, there were humans that were doing all those jobs. And these humans' jobs were replaced when we were able to create machines to do them. And the same is happening right now. History repeats itself, and some jobs will be removed, but more jobs will be born out of these robots. Now, to put things into perspective and how fast and effective these stretch robots are going to be, every stretch robot is capable of picking up a box that is around 23 kilogram, and they have a maximum rate of picking up and moving boxes, and they can actually reach up to 800 boxes per hour.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any human can do 800 boxes per hour. Again, more efficient. Time is very time efficient as well.
Yes.
And obviously, you don't have to pay for insurance for these robots. Now, people who own warehouses are going crazy. They love the idea. But again, we're talking about the employee. Are employees happy about this? Well, again, this just goes to show that we need to be updated daily on our own mindset. We need to learn new tricks and skills because, unfortunately, it is a competitive market.
Yes.
When we're talking about warehouses, Amazon, the car manufacturers. I mean, I just told you guys, Hyundai has bought a stake in Boston Dynamics for $1.1 billion because manufacturers, when it comes to cars, they need all the extra work. I think it's in Michigan, right? It's very well known for being Detroit, Michigan. Yes, very well known for being the car manufacturer of the world back in the 60s and 70s. And guess what? It doesn't exist anymore. Why? Competition.
Exactly. And the one thing that robots can't compete with is our soft skills. So it's a perfect time for us to start honing those skills as well. We're going to be taking a short break, but when we come back, we're talking about Apple potentially launching a watch for all those who are in love with extreme sports.
Gadget of the day.
New tech you might want to play with.
New tech you might want to play with or even put it on your wrist, on your hand. We're talking about my beloved friend, the Apple Watch.
Where did the Whoop go?
Oh yeah, the Whoop, I haven't been using it.
Why?
I feel like my hands are heavy. Because I have everything. I got my bracelet, my watch, and then the Whoop. Whoop, there it is. You know that song? It's a classic. It's like a 90s. Whoop, there it is.
I'm not going to say anything, but you know what? Whenever you had both watches on, you reminded me of...
Felt like Inspector Gadget.
I felt like you're the millionaire. You know how rich people have
Yeah.
They have multiple watches on.
Do you remember Inspector
Rolex,
Gadget?
Inspector
Yeah,
Gadget.
it was a movie back in the 2000s. He had so many gadgets on him, and he was
the
an
name
inspector.
is so familiar.
Yeah, he was a detective. Google him real quick. You'll remember him as soon as you see the picture. If you remember who Inspector Gadget is, 4215 doorstep or on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to love.
He had
love
a hat that would have a satellite inside of it. It was amazing stuff. But we're talking today about Apple and how they may launch a rugged watch for extreme sports. So the watch actually might be able to handle all types of extreme sports.
Yes, indeed. If you are a lover for rough extreme sports, and even if you are a lover of doing sports in extreme weather, this is the watch for you, because we do know that Apple Watches are very, very strong. They are water resistant, but when it comes to hot temperatures and cold temperatures, they may not operate as well as they would. So Apple is currently working on what they are potentially going to call the Explorer Edition, which is a rugged watch that would offer an additional model. So very similar to the Watch SE or the special edition models that Apple has been collaborating with different brands like Nike and Hermes with. They would actually be launching different features added to the regular watch, but they could be extra resistant to impact. So to heart falls. They would have a much
more water resistant.
Yes.
Yeah, it can
they
go
would
deeper.
have a rubber case
Yeah.
in place of the steel, aluminum, titanium shells, and they are also going to be a lot stronger when it comes to handling water.
Yeah, I mean, they do want to call it the Explorer Edition, which is the rugged watch, and it could be offered as an additional model, obviously. Now, a rugged watch does seem like a feasible and even sensible addition to the lineup, even given the immense popularity of Apple's smartwatches. Now, literally everyone has this Apple Watch nowadays. You see a lot of people wearing Apple Watches. It is your go-to watch. I mean, it tracks your fitness, it tracks your time, it tracks your sleep, and it does give you even notifications on your phone. You can do a lot of things with your watch. But why not give a durable watch or a rugged watch to the people who do extreme sports, skydiving, diving in general, let's say hikes. I mean, a lot of people don't want to put a very expensive watch on their expensive watch on their hand and it getting ruined because obviously money doesn't grow on trees. Now, we do know that Apple does own 36% of the wearable market and did generate around $30 billion in wearables and home accessories in its most successful segment to the next to the iPhone. So we do know after the iPhone, the wearables and smart technology is the second one that brings in the most money for Apple.
Yes, indeed. And reports are actually showing that the new Apple Watch, which is Explorer Edition, would also have a very intelligent swim tracking feature. So for all swimmers out there, they may soon be able to use their Apple Watch to track in their workouts as well. Let us know your thoughts.
Yes.
We want to hear from all of you. Do you know someone who is an athlete of rough or let's say extreme sports who would love a watch like this? And when do you think Apple would launch it? I don't think it's going to be the upcoming watch. I feel like maybe one season after.
Well, I think it might be coming soon, but we did tell you guys to text in your thoughts, and we got a text message from Khalid El Harmoudi. Big shout out to Khalid. He does say that he does remember Inspector Gadget, and he would get a rugged Apple Watch because obviously he does want to go on some extreme adventures, or what Apple likes to call it, the Explorer Edition.
Well, Khalid is definitely an explorer. Let us know if you are as well. Coming up on the show is not over. We still have lots in store for all of you. We're going to be talking about the first Emirati super app that will bring your COVID-19 vaccine straight to your doorstep.
And the super app, ladies and gentlemen, might just rescue me.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
Whenever we're talking about delivery apps, first thing that comes to mind is food. Then you have groceries. Then you have medical needs. But never did I think that we are going to have a delivery app for COVID-19 vaccines. But luckily, right here in the UAE, every citizen and national has had the ability to get the COVID-19 vaccine. The latest of them all has been Rizq.
Sir?
Yes?
Your vaccine is... You're not a sir. Well, let's do it again. 1 second.
Okay.
Ma'am?
Yes?
Your COVID vaccine is here. We have it right here. You ordered it on the app, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're at my doorstep?
Lift up your sleeve. It's time to take the jab. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
How lucky am I? Pilot, delivery, COVID-19
WWE
vaccine.
announcer. I do it all. They call me Hani Full Package.
Oh my God.
Right? I got it all. But we're talking about Rizq, which is the first app to make at-home COVID-19 vaccinations a reality. It's the first of its kind. It's a super app.
It is a super app. And the best part about it is that it's coming in and it coincides with the news of the UAE actually launching its very own lineup of COVID-19 vaccines, the Sinopharm vaccine. So you can get your very own made in the UAE COVID-19 vaccine seamlessly. But with this application, there comes a lot of commotion about getting the vaccine safely, because we do know that at the beginning when vaccines were first being given out, places used to get crowded. Everyone wants to get the jab. But now you can just order the jab to your home.
Listen, the UAE vaccination drive is perfect. I'm going to tell you this. MashaAllah and Alhamdulillah for the blessing the UAE has given us when it does come to the vaccination drive. I'm telling you guys, when I got the first vaccine, I got it at work, and I had to get the second vaccine at the Sharjah Expo Center.
Yeah.
Quick and easy. all over. I think we have the second highest per 100 people
Yes.
when it does come to getting vaccinated. We're on a very good path. And I do believe the UAE even had an initiative where they do want 50% of the population, I think it's 50 or 70% of the population.
I think over half of the population has been vaccinated so far.
Yes, to be vaccinated by I think the first quarter of 2021.
Yeah.
So we're doing amazing. I mean, I think all of us are vaccinated right here at Pulse 95, and a lot of us are vaccinated at the Sharjah Broadcasting Authority in general. And then again, the UAE is making it even easier for people who can't go out and get that vaccine because, number one, just like Omni said, it is a little bit crowded. And number two, the elderly, the people with chronic illnesses, the people who can't go out and get that vaccine or maybe live in faraway areas right here in the UAE and can't get in a car because, well, they're old.
Yes, indeed. And it's just a lot safer to have that vaccine delivered to their home. The best part about it is that this app is actually completely free of charge for you to go ahead and download. And it's called Rizq, RIZEK. And it's the first app in the world to provide at-home COVID-19 vaccination. So as a user, you could simply download the app, place your order for a COVID-19 vaccine, and you'll get the vaccine to your home. Mm-hmm. It comes with, there will be an actual nurse coming to your home and healthcare personnel to assist you in getting the vaccine. But they're also offering PCR tests, antibody tests,
Yes.
which are actually very important to get if you have already caught the virus and you want to get the vaccine a couple of months after. They'll bring the vaccine, they'll bring the PCR test and the antibody test to your doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
They will assess your health, so they'll take your vitals and then decide whether or not you would be eligible to get the vaccine.
Now, the UAE is doing everything correct. They're backing up this founder of the app, the creator of the app. The UAE government has backed it up.
Yes.
The UAE has done so much right here in the UAE and globally to providing vaccines to countries that need them and for the people in the own UAE
Yeah.
who need them. So I'm very happy. I'm very blessed to be a resident right here in the UAE. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first of its kind. It's a super app. Where can you say, hey, I can't go out today. I'm having the COVID vaccine be at my door. Then you're like, what?
Or
then
if you're busy.
Yeah. And all of a sudden you hear, sir, your COVID vaccine is ready. Buck her up. Here it goes.
Oh my
right in the
God.
jab. And you're like, oh, here you go, sir. It's amazing.
It is.
Tell me who does this. Tell me. No one does this.
Honestly, I can't even think of any other country that would be able to
Alhamdulillah,
deliver.
alhamdulillah. This is a blessing from God.
It is absolutely a blessing, and we're very blessed to be living in a country where the fight against the pandemic is excelling, and
Yes.
we're almost to the finish line of being immune to the COVID-19 virus. But we gotta stay
Yes,
safe.
obviously, 100%.
Follow all the precautionary measures because we're so close. We don't want to lose that fight.
Now, the UAE has also become a launch pad for digital health passports to protect travelers against COVID-19, which will be launched by Etihad Airways, which is an Abu Dhabi and UAE-based airline. Ladies and gentlemen, words cannot describe how good they're doing. I mean, the numbers show. People
Yes.
lie, numbers don't. There it is. We're seeing how good we are doing tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to know your guys' thoughts. 4215, do it slot or on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. Would you get the vaccine? If you haven't yet, would you get the vaccine delivered to your home? I know I would. And if you would you like me to come in and be like, hello? Hanny from Future Talk here. Would you like your vaccine?
I wouldn't trust you giving me the vaccine.
Trust me, I have gentle hands.
Oh my God. Let us know your thoughts. Have you taken the COVID-19 vaccine or not yet? Tanya and I have, and we can tell you we've survived it. It's completely safe and good
All
to
right,
go.
come here, COVID. I got my hands up. Come here, COVID.
And the best part about it, it's good that you bring that up because it is in our hands
Yes.
to fight this
Everyone is
pandemic.
responsible.
Everyone is responsible by wearing your mask and following all the precautionary measures. You can also pitch in with that
Yes.
fight. And Ramadan is just around the corner. We need to make sure that we're trying to maintain social distancing as much as we can because it's just,
It's our duty.
Yeah, and this month actually marks the 1-year anniversary of lockdown. I've been getting endless memories on Snapchat from the times when Hani and I used to record from home and
Flashbacks.
PTSD.
PTSD flashbacks. But you know what that gives me, Omnia?
What?
A late night feeling. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Future Talk. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, only here on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.